Well, hello there, boys and girls. We are on 2-8. This is the last section in the book, so we have reached the finish line as far as this chapter goes. We are combining functions. So in order to combine functions, we need a few functions to combine. So I've got three here. This is from the first section of homework in the book. We've got f of x is equal to the square root of x. G of x is 2 times x, and h of x is x squared times 3 and then minus 2. So the way the notation works is that we read this h of, that little o there can be thought of as for of, h of g of x, and that's no different than h of g of x. Okay, so you'll see that just like we can say g of 3 when we want to plug in 3 into g and get 6 coming out, that if we then put h around that, this we read then h of g of 3. But this notation is very common too, so you just have to learn that you do g of x first, and then when you find that, you then do h of x. Or you can actually combine the functions, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do now. That when you read this, we just take this g of x, or we can think of it as taking g of x here, and we put it inside of h of x. So here's g of x. So h of x then is 3, and in place of the x, I'm just going to put parentheses, squared minus 2. Okay, so this is the h of x part, and in place of the x, I put what g of x is, which is 2x. Okay, so you see this 2x here has gone in place of x right there. If there was an x there, for instance, I'd put it in there as well. But there's only one, so it only goes in one place. Now that g of x has been put into h of x, it makes sense that this notation is g of x in h of x. And now I just work it out. So this is going to be 3 times then 4x squared, because 2x times 2x gives me 4x squared minus 2, and then this will be equal to 12x squared minus 2. So that is h of g of x. Okay? Well, now I can find h of g of 3 quite easily by, as I said, plugging in 3 in here for the x in g of x. 3 in there gives me 6, and then I just do h of 6. That's going to give me h of g of 3. Well, if I put in 6 there, I get 36. 36 times 3 is going to be 108. 108 minus 2 is 106. Okay? Or I could simply do it right here, where I put in 3 right here, square that, and then do that minus 2. Well, 3 squared is 9. 9 times 12 is 108, and 108 minus 2 is 106. Okay? So you can see these two methods agree, and that's what you do. So now I'd like you to try problems 4 and 6 on page 128. Okay? 4 and 6. Page 128. Try those now. All right. Okay, now I'm going to try this problem here from biology about the body mass and the lung volume of various critters out there, like the dwarf mongoose. Anyway, so go to page 130 and read through 13, A, B, C, D, E, F, and even G. Thanks.